Well, hey guys, and welcome to Small Group Week. My name is John, and I am outside of a building. But that's all it is. It's just a building because the church is you. And so I hope that you are gathered together with some other church people today, 1, 2, 5, 10, and that you guys can have some discussion together because we think that one of the best ways that you can grow is when you get together with other folks and you're able to open up, when you're able to talk about what's really going on in life, when you're able to ask questions and be able to learn together. So I'm so excited for you to get to do that in whatever group you find yourself in when you are watching. So if you haven't already, we want to really take time to get to know each other and to really share what's going on in our lives. So share our 3 opening questions. And so as you look at this past week, what are you grateful for? What are you just thankful for? Share that with the folks around you. But then also, what has been stressful? What's been challenging? Share that with the folks in your group. And then normally what we'll do at the end of each of these is we'll do some sort of an I will statement. And we haven't done that for the last couple weeks. So you might not have like a certain I will statement of a certain way in which you are going to grow. But I would guess that each of you, as you're going into the fall, you have some sort of an idea, a plan in your head of how you're hoping this fall goes well. Some habit you were hoping to start, something you were wanting to do with your schedule, some way that you were going to maybe engage in church, something that you were going to try to intentionally do in your relationship with Jesus, each other, or the world. And so as you've thought about what your plan was going to be for the fall, how has that gone so far? Have you started your plan? What was your plan? Go ahead and share that with the folks around you. And then after that, we're going to spend some time discussing the idea of the Bible and definitions. So we started talking this past Sunday at live service that all through this fall, we're going to be talking about the idea of definitions because there's a lot of words and terms that we use in church circles. Maybe it's things that we sing, maybe it's things that you might hear in a sermon, and sometimes I think, well, sometimes we don't even really know what it means, and sometimes when we're using the term, it might mean something different than when someone else is using it. The way I've been thinking about it, and this is going to age me a little bit, but one of my favorite movies when I was a kid was The Princess Bride. I don't know if you remember that movie. And there's a scene early on in the Princess Bride where one of the main characters keeps using the word inconceivable. And then one of the other guys says, "You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means." And I think there's a lot of times when we use words like church, when we use words like blessed, when we use words like gospel, when we use words like all kinds of different things that we sing, talk, preach about, that maybe we don't know what it means. Maybe the term, the way in which we've been using it it's just narrow. It is what we were taught. It was from, our tradition, but actually it has a much wider and deeper meaning behind it. And sometimes the way in which we've understood it is just wrong. And so what we want to do is we want to say, what is the right, the proper, the fully wide definition of what some of these terms mean. And we said that there's a proper way to do that, and that is through the lens of Jesus. What we want to do in your groups today is we want to kind of tackle one of the big issues that we will go through all throughout this semester. Because one easy thing that people would say in church is that if you want to find out the truth, if you want to find out what the right way to define things, if you want to find out, how you're supposed to live the Christian life, then, well, it's easy. You just need to go to, I have one here, the Bible. Just read this and it will give you all the answers that you need. The problem with that is that there's a lot of people who have done and said and lived some really wrong or narrow ways by just reading the Bible, because there's right ways and there's wrong ways to read the Bible. And so that's what we want to discuss in our group today, is what are some of the wrong ways that you can approach the Bible that help you not get to the definitions, that help you not get to the ways in which you're supposed to live in the most helpful ways? And then what is the right way to read the Bible, which is through the lens of Jesus. And you guys will talk about that in your group. So there's a whole bunch of different questions and things to help you guys dive into this. Those are found in the weekly email. So you can either go to the weekly email. If someone in your group got that, you guys can use that as your guide. Or the weekly email is on a link at the bottom of this video if you go into the comments on YouTube, and you can find all the different questions. There's some fun questions, and then there's some more serious questions to help you guys begin this discussion of how do we as a group of people who are trying to love Jesus, each other, in the world, how do we best use this amazing tool of the Bible this fall and going forward to help us grow. And we want to make sure we're using it in the way that it was always designed to be, which is through the lens of Jesus. And so you guys will have lots of fun discussing that. So enjoy your groups today. Be open, be honest. Feel free to ask questions if you have doubts, whatever it might be. This is the setting to really dive into those things. And I just am so excited for your discussion. So enjoy, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
So the Bible is one of the most influential books of all time, but what is it exactly?
Yeah, some people treat the Bible like a divine behavior manual that dropped out of heaven. Others use it like a theology dictionary, written to answer all of our questions about God. And others still think of it like a grab bag of spiritual one-liners and inspiring stories.
But here's the thing. The Bible isn't written as a rule book or theology dictionary or even as a collection of inspirational writings.
Then what is the Bible?
Well, open up the Bible to page 1 and read the opening words.
In the beginning.
Now, turn to the last chapter of the Bible where you can read this.
And they reigned forever and ever. Okay, so the Bible's telling a story from beginning to end.
Yeah, it's one epic narrative about how God has appointed humanity as his partners to oversee this amazing world. It's about how we've ruined that partnership and how God is restoring us and our world through Jesus.
Okay, one story, but there's a lot going on. Many plots, many characters, all written in many different books.
But once you see how every book has a careful literary design, you won't get lost. And you can see how it fits into the overall storyline.
There are also important repeated themes that weave through the entire biblical story.
Yeah, like the covenants that God makes with people.
Or the hope for a human who will confront evil.
Or how God's justice will one day make all things right. And every theme culminates in the story of Jesus.
There are also a lot of strange words in the Bible, words we don't use in normal language.
But when we take time to understand them, we discover profound ideas that contribute to the overall biblical story.
So it takes work to know how to read the different types of literature in the Bible.
But once you do learn how, you'll discover that the Bible is a work of literary genius that can transform how you live and how you think about everything.
So that's what the Bible Project is all about, to help people see the Bible as one unified story that leads to Jesus.
We're a nonprofit animation studio that makes videos and resources.
And it's all free to use because of a large group of generous people who've come together to contribute to this project.
You can find everything that we're up to at thebibleproject.com.